Tonight on the HPT, we're at Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor in Black Hawk, Colorado, where a field of 763 entrants generated a prize pool of $740,000. Tonight's ninth place finisher was Golden, Colorado native Brian Leach. Holding a suited 10-9 in the big, Brian called the pre-flop raise from Rich and his suited 7-6. The flop was 8-7-4 Rainbow. An open-ender with two overs to the board, Brian shoves all in and gets called by middle pair and a gutter ball straight draw by Rich. The turn card was the 5 of diamonds. Rich makes his straight, and now Brian needs to see a jack or a 6 on the river for a bigger straight, or he will be eliminated. And that river card was the King of Hearts. Brian's bid to become an HPT champion has ended, but he isn't going home empty-handed. He takes with him just under $14,000. Tonight's 8th place finisher was Kevin Nettles. Holding King Jack in the small, Kevin makes the call and goes heads up against Chris and his ace-7 on the button. The flop was 9-ace-9. Chris pairs his ace, no help for Kevin, both players check. The turn card was the 6 of hearts. A check from Kevin, Chris bets, Kevin raises most but not all of his stack, and Chris makes the call. The river card, the 8 of diamonds. Kevin checks, Chris bets, Kevin makes the fold, and in the process, lost all but his last 30,000 chips. He hung on for a little while, but ultimately was eliminated as our 8th place finisher and walked away with just over $17,000. And finally, going out in 7th place was Evergreen, Colorado native Chris Treba. Facing a button raise from Ben and his King 8, Chris and his Queen 5 made the call from the big blind. The flop, Queen 7 deuce 2 hearts. Chris checks, Ben bets enough to put Chris all in, and Chris makes the call. The turn card is the 8 of spades, pairing Ben's 8. Now Chris needs to avoid any King or 8 to avoid elimination, but the river was the King of diamonds, giving Ben 2 pair and eliminating Chris in 7th place, but not for nothing, he went home with $20,649. Well, folks, we've got 6 players remaining and more than $400,000 to award, and it all starts right now.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, as always, joined with poker professional and coach Mr. Kenneth James. This week, we're back in a very familiar place, Black Hawk, Colorado, Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor, where our prize pool was over $763,000.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited to be here tonight because we have a power-packed final table. Our players, we have Eric Clayman, we have Rich Dixon, he's got 6 HPT cashes, and Ben Brown, our chip leader. It's his first HPT cash, and he's on the final table.
Let's not forget about the elder statesman of the group. I'm talking about Craig, the Legend Casino. He's got 31 cashes. That's a record. He's won the thing twice, one time right here at this very property, and this is his 12th nationally televised final table. But there's a few other folks at the final table.
Yeah.
I think we should meet them right now and take a look at the prize pool.
Up top, 159,131 on down to 6th, 25,016. Looking at the chip counts, James?
Yeah, Benny Brown up top. That's like 120 big blinds. But you see, rounding out the group here is Mr. Seat 4, and Andrew. He's going to need to get something going with just 7 bigs.
He's on fumes, and he's got a couple of napkins there, which is usually you fold them, but he's looking like he's going to try and make something happen with the 4-3 of clubs. If you're going to play this, I like moving in. You know, rather than raising, you want to maximize your fold equity. What's he going to do?
Well, it looks like he's reaching for chips here just to raise, and he's doing just that. He's taking about half of his stack, raising to 310,000.
Well, it's a strategy point to you players at home. If you're going to put more than half your chips into the pot as the initiator, just go ahead and move all in. I think that's a better equitable play in the long run.
Well, sometimes just those words, all in, are enough to scare your opponents, unless your opponent wakes up with pocket queens.
True, and it looks like he is going to re-raise to isolate to $1 million.
$1 million is the total bet by Aaron.
And it is now folded around here to the 9 seat of Aaron. Looks down at 6-4.
Another couple of napkins.
And he's actually thinking about this. Now, he's got the chips to do it. He's on the button. That or he's just trying to get some more TV time. It's the first hand of the night, you know. This way the commentators will talk about you. I like his hat. He's got the hoodie on. He's got plenty of chips. Is he really thinking about making this call, Kenna?
I don't. Yeah, you can get evil thoughts in your mind, like I have chip position, I have table position. Can I make a creative play here? Move all in, and isolate, and win the side pot, and then isolate.
Over to Rich in the big blind.
Anyway, well, first, before we get to Andrew, Rich next to act with Jack 5, he'll get rid of that. Anyway, Andrew can just fold this hand. He's got to have it. I guess he's committed now.
If his opponent turned over the 2 queens, he should put his chips in.
Yeah, he still has to. He's committed at this point, and he's going to see the really bad news. Not just the bad news, the really bad news. But he's suited, and he's connected. So you're saying I have a chance.
He's got an 18% chance, James, going into the flop. That means his percentage chance to win after all 5 cards are out. He's got a great attitude. He's made it this far. He's guaranteed at least $25,000 to the flop. We go.
And the flop comes out Jack 10 deuce. So no help there for Andrew, but he said, let's try to have a sweat. Just give me something here on the turn.
5 of clubs would give him a open-ended straight and a flush draw. The best scenario, but no.
Well, he does pair his 3, so he smiles a little bit more.
Yeah. A 3 is known as a crab. He needs another crab, and it'll be crabs for dinner tonight. Will it come? To the river we go.
No crabs for dinner tonight, and that is going to do it for Andrew. Eric takes him out, but a nice little payday.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs, exactly. Just over $25,000. But what I like about this guy, he's from my part of the world, Oskaloosa, Iowa. The 48-year-old is planning to take his family on vacation with the cash. Congratulations, Andrew. Welcome back to the HPT. We're broadcasting from the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. We started with 763 players, and now, Kenneth James, we are down to our final 5.
Yeah, and Ben Brown solidly in front, followed by Aaron, Eric, and Rich right in the middle, and now Craig Casino on the short stack with 12 big blinds. As you can see now, the nice colored chips we have here, those white, as James likes to call them, the white meat, are $100,000 apiece, the green $25K and the red $5K.
And look at this. Craig Casino picks up pocket rockets. He's got the aces.
Yeah. Each hand has its name, also known as the bullets, because if you turn the aces on their side, they look like a bullet that's passing through the air. Always great to pick them up on the final table, and nice to see Craig as he makes it $300,000 to go with the bullets.
Action now over to Aaron. He's in the big blind, thinking about defending here. You see the raise was to $300,000.
And Aaron's going to make the call.
And he's going to go ahead and make the call.
Probably standard to a back position raiser to defend with unsuited connectors.
And the flop comes out 8, trade deuce, couple of hearts.
Over to Craig. Craig's going to check as well. Both players check.
Standard to check to the raiser. Now, what's not standard is Craig checking back, kind of giving some rope to Aaron.
But now his opponent pairs his 6. He's got a pair of 6s and the gutter straight draw, and he's going to bet out $400,000.
This is the beautiful play by Craig, slow playing this. It makes his opponent think that he has 2 big cards like ace king or ace queen. And now Aaron's betting for value, trying to protect his pair of 6s. And he probably thinks they're good.
I'm all in.
Oh!
Now Craig's going to go all in. I like it.
The trap perfectly set. You put the leaves over the hole and then the bear walks into it. This is a perfect trap set up by Craig. He's willing to take the extra risk to draw his opponent in and win a bigger pot. Will Aaron fall for it? Does he think he has too much equity here? Because if he puts Craig on a flush draw, he's a big favorite in the hand. He put, or 2 overcards. Tough position Craig has got his opponent in here.
Really is. Aaron needs a 4, 5, or 6 to win the hand. You see over 2.2 in the pot, and he's going to make the call. And they're going to flip over the cards, and he's going to see the bad news as Craig has the pocket aces. He's in the lead. 1 street to go.
It's going to be an interesting river card. Dynamic. Could change how this whole final table makeup goes if a 4, 5, or 6 comes for Aaron. Wow. To the river we go.
And the river card is the deuce of clubs, so Craig is going to win the hand. He's going to double up. And this is a guy you don't want to give chips to. We talked about it in the open. Craig Casino, 64 years old. He is the all-time money leader here on the HPT. 31 cashes, that's the most. 2 HPT victories, and this is his 12th final TV table.
And he calls himself an amateur.
Yeah, I know. He started the game late in life, though. That's what makes this story so fantastic. You know, he didn't start when he was 21 years old. He was busy arresting people and pulling people over for speeding. The guy was a Chicago cop.
Look at this. Speaking of cops, he's got the hooks out here.
Yes,
the
he
fish
does.
hooks, the 2 jacks after aces. Now he wakes up with jacks. This seems a little unfair.
And now Craig's got to be thinking, can I strike lightning in a bottle twice? He won his first HPT here years ago. And looking good for him to try to repeat as he's got pocket jacks. Raises to $360,000.
I'm not sure you could call it lightning in the bottle. That's kind of a lucky term for a guy who's got as great as results as he has. There's a lot of skill involved in what he's doing here. Eric now defending with pocket sixes. To the flop we go.
And the flop comes out ace, king, 6. So bad news there for Craig Casino. Eric flops a set of sixes.
Yeah, but Craig with a C-bet here, if he gets any resistance, should be able to get away from this hand with the 2 overcards. Most players defending with, you know, an ace or a pair.
Right.
So this might let him off the hook. Eric should just flat here now. Give a little trapping back to the trapper. What's he going to do?
Eric's 36 years old.
You know, I wouldn't mind him just flatting or raising because you figure your opponent has an ace. This might be the time to pull it. But well, what's he going to do? It looks like he's just calling. What is going on there?
He's going to raise it up
he's
to
gonna raise.
$960,000, and that's going to get Craig out of the hand. So a good flop for Eric, but a bad flop, too, with the 2 overcards. Of course, Eric doesn't know what his opponent has, but sometimes a flop can be good and bad.
Yeah, you know, you got to take the good with the bad. The good is he wins the hand. The bad is he doesn't win as much as he had hoped.
All right, action continues. Blinds are $60,000, $120,000 with that $60K big blind ante. I'm James Larson alongside Kenny James, and we'll start with seat 5 here. Eric, he squeezes a queen 7. Those cards will find the muck. Now over to Craig, the Legend Casino. Looks down at queen 10.
This is about the weakest hand he's going to find, it seems like, tonight.
And he's going to fold. Ben's going to fold on the button. To the blinds we go. And we start with the small blind of Aaron. And he's going to raise all in with his ace 7.
Rich peeks down at the snowman and quickly calls.
And Aaron now, his tournament life on the line. You see he's behind in the hand. He does have the 1 over, the ace of hearts. So 8's going up against ace 7. Wow, look at that flop.
Are you kidding me? Is that going to make television?
Yeah, Craig, that's going to make television. What a flop, Kenna.
Incredible. Aaron now needing another 6 or a 7, or in the unenviable position of needing to make quads to survive and stay in this tournament. To the river we go.
And the river card is the 4 of spades. Aaron here has an ace in his hand, catches 3 of a kind, but it's not good enough. Rich outflops him, and Aaron will be eliminated in 5th place, going home with $32,565. And we'll be back with more of the HPT after these words. Welcome back to the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. Your final 4 remain. Ben Brown up top. Everybody's chasing the big prize this week. $159,131. I'm James Larson alongside Kenny James, and there he is, Craig Casino, trying to capture his 3rd HPT title.
The old 9-6 suited.
We know Craig, though, he likes to open up his hand range, especially when we're down to 4 players.
Yeah, and he's got to make something happen. He's on the short stack, and he's got 2 cards talking to one another, as we like to say. They're somewhat connected and suited. So he's going to try and go for it right here.
He's going to raise it up to $380,000. Rich makes the call with his king-queen.
I just think if you're going to make a move with a raggedy hand like this and you're on the short stack, it's better to just shove, maximize fold equity, and go with it rather than play it as a standard raise. But let's see how it works out for him.
Eric makes the call in the big blind to defend, so 3 players now going to the flop. And it comes out 9-8-6, couple of clubs. So pretty nice flop there for Mr. Casino.
Yeah, I guess if you know what the flop's coming, just disregard what I say. And now he's got a chance to slow play again, or will he try to protect his equity in the hand and his position by moving with it?
Rich is just going to check his king high there. Action over to Eric. And he's going to check over to Craig with the best of it here.
Now here's the decision. I like this. See how he's rubbing his hands together? It's very subtle signs, and now the rub of the nose. These are very high-level, little signs of insecurity that he's communicating to his opponents or uncertainty so he can do everything he can to garner a call.
But don't the really good players that have reads, don't they kind of snuff that out? Maybe he's being too intentional.
Well, it depends. Like, if it's very overly dramatized, yes. But he's doing it so subtle that I don't think so. I think he's selling it rather just enough.
But then you got to remember, if you're one of these players watching him do this, and you think you got to figure it out, and then you look at his resume here with everything he's done.
$1,080,000.
So it's $1 million now for Rich to make this call with just king high.
I don't like it. I mean, even if you're right, you guess right, you still are behind ace high. You're not even that much in front of any draws, so he rightly finds them up. Nice hand, nice play, Craig.
I didn't have much choice. I couldn't bet much less than that.
Craig smiling as he's stacking his chips, and we move on here. 80,160, 80K big blind ante. And you know, we haven't heard much out of Ben Brown. Haven't even said his name. And there he folds his hand again.
Content to sit back and wait his time and turn. And look at this. The bullets, or the rockets as James likes to call them, on the button. Such a great place to get them because the blinds always think you're stealing.
Rich Dixon, by the way, over 570,000 total career winnings. He's going to raise it up to 360,000. Action over to Eric now.
Praying that somebody finds a hand in the big blind to defend with.
And Craig in that big blind, and he likes to defend. He likes to mix it up, like I said. And he's going to go ahead and make the call. 200,000 for him. So we go heads up to the flop now. Rich against the legend. And the flop is 9-8 deuce, couple of clubs. So Craig not as lucky with this flop as the last hand.
Nope. I expect him to check and call one street here just because it's so powerful if you turn the nuts. But he might be against 2 overcards, so he's thinking not only a 7 but a 6 or a 5 will keep in the hand. I expect him to peel 1 here.
So after Craig checks, the bet is 320,000 chips by Rich.
You might see that there's, you know, he's at the bottom end of the straight, plus he's against a negative draw with the 2 clubs out there. He may just find the muck, but I don't blame him for calling 1 street here.
All right, Craig's going to see the turn. Over 1.5 million in the pot. Queen of Spades comes on the turn. Action now. Back over to Craig Casino. He's going to check to Rich. Rich with the best of it here. You see the percentage, 93% with his pocket aces, with 1 street to go. What would you bet in this position right here with a pot of 1.5?
Rich is going to move all in.
Well, he's going to move all in.
A fold. Yeah, it's close whether to, you know, plus Jack 10 comes into play there with that queen. So I think I would have just taken the extra risk and checked it back. But I don't blame him for trying to fold out the equity.
All right, folks, we are so glad you're with us tonight here on the HPT. And if you want to join us on the road, check out an event, well, just head on over to our webpage at hptpoker.com. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next person playing for the Unreal Cash. Action folded over to Craig Casino. Looks down at Queen 10.
And this is a standard. Anytime you have 2 Broadway cards, you're on the short stack, you're on the button, you figure to have the best hand. He may elect to just raise, but I think the play is to shove here. See what he's going to decide to do. He does move all in.
Ben quickly gets out of the way, and now action over to Rich, and he's got pocket jacks. He's going to make the call.
Pocket jacks, spades 10 of diamonds.
The fish
Ball
hooks.
in here, Rich makes the call. Rich has pocket jacks.
Yeah, he's
jack
looking to
of spades,
fish
jack of
Craig
clubs.
right out of this tournament. But
has
Craig,
king of spades,
anytime
10
you
of
have
diamonds.
one overcard to a pair, you're still 30%. To the flop we go.
And the flop is 10-8-7. So Craig pairs his 10, but the jacks are still in the lead.
And Craig needing a queen or a 10 to stay in this tournament.
And let's go to the turn card. It's the 8 of spades. So one street left here for Craig Casino, or he will be eliminated.
Wiping the brow. Pressure on. To the river we go. Not going to do it.
Not to be for that man, Craig the Legend Casino. So his 31st cash here on the HPT, his 12th final TV table. And hey, he's going home with over $44,000. I'm sure we'll see him again real soon right here on the HPT. Hi, folks. Welcome back to the HPT. Your final three. We got Ben, we got Rich, we got Eric. There can only be one champion, and that person will go home with over $159,000. I'm James Larson, alongside my co-host Kenna James. And you know, Kenna, this is my favorite time. I love watching three-handed poker.
Yeah, it's going to really pick up the action here, as we haven't heard much from
we
Ben.
haven't.
He's been sitting on his chip lead the whole time, letting the players take each other out. Looks like he's going to open it up now as we come down the back stretch, raising it up to $400,000 with ace-4. I think this is just a smartly played tournament by this youngster here, just laying back, waiting, but he's now running into Rich, who's got momentum. He's been knocking the players out, gaining ground. Now he's 3-betting the chip leader.
All right, so all three players holding an ace.
Oh, my.
And now you see Eric with ace-queen.
Eric's gonna say, Eric says all in.
And now Eric's going to raise all in, so that'll get Ben out of the way. And Rich says, yeah, I make the call. And he's going to see the bad news. His ace-jack going up against the suited ace-queen of Eric.
He's dominated. Now, there's other areas in life you might want to be dominated, but it's not at the poker table. Trust me. This is bad shape for the ace-jack of Rich.
All right, well, let's go to the flop, and it's 9-8-6. It's a rainbow. Great news for Eric. As you see the percentages, he's in a good spot for a full double-up. Let's go to the turn card. Turn card is another 8, this time the 8 of clubs.
Just has to dodge the jack on the river. He doubles up. To the river we go.
And that river card is the 10 of hearts. So just like that, Eric wins the hand. A very important double up for him. A pot of $4.2 million, and really a mere flesh wound for his opponent, Rich.
Yeah, but it is important, James, because it keeps him in the tournament for sure. But he's still going to be on the short stack, and he's going to have to make something happen. We now have the blinds at 100 and 200,000 each, with 100,000 big blind ante. If you're just joining us, those white chips, 100,000 apiece. The green or teal are 25K, and the red, 5,000 each.
Look at Eric squeezes the 8s. 8s have kind of been the wild card on tonight's broadcast.
Slow playing 8s. I'm not sure here on the short stack. So many overcards could come and make them difficult to play.
And then Ben just checks his big blind option there, and look at that. He picks up a queen. Flop comes out 2 6s and a queen. Ben goes in the lead.
Well, this might be the case of the trapper becoming trapped here.
Turn card is the tray of clubs, and now Eric reaching for chips. He's going to bet 400,000.
Deciding to take the passive-aggressive line. It's not going to get through. Now going to stab again. Is this a bluff?
Eric's gonna bet.
All right, the bet is 800,000. Pot of over 2 million chips.
This is not getting through. I mean, Ben has been silent, but he's going to be deadly here. There's a reason he's the chip leader. He makes the call. He's going to win the hand.
Eric shows.
Yeah, and just like that, Eric's going to see the bad news. So Eric may be thinking to himself, should I have raised pre-flop?
Absolutely. You know, you're on the short stack. Yeah, you want something to happen, but, you know, there it's just a very delicate situation. You just raise and go for the value by picking up the blinds and antes.
All right, the action continues here on the HPT. I'm James Larson alongside Ken and James, one of my favorite spots to be in the entire country. Been coming here for over a decade. Dealers have done a great job, and the staff. It's just always fun to be at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor.
Yeah, it's ironic. This is one of our biggest fields in all our tournaments, and yet the population here of Blackhawk, 121 people.
Yeah, it's unbelievable is what it is.
Look at this, a quick all-in here by Rich. Now, over to Eric, peeks down at the bullet. Ace Trey, he's going to make the call.
Yeah, he is going to make the call, and they're going to flip over the cards, and Eric's going to see the good news, but when you're all in, it always makes you a little nervous, even when you're ahead.
Yeah, because your tournament life is on the line. You can see Rich is a little more relaxed being behind because he's win or lose, he's still in.
Yeah, he's still got chips. Well, let's go to the flop. You see the percentages there, and the flop comes out queen, 4, deuce, 2 hearts. So good news there for Eric.
Maintains his lead. Can he hold on and survive to the turn we go?
And that turn card is the 10 of spades, so one more street. Eric's thinking just one more street, and I can hang around and get a little more TV time.
Will he do it? To the river we go? It's an ace. So not only will he hang around for more TV time, possibly more cash, over a $30,000 difference between third and second, James.
So what you're saying, it's both fame and fortune on the line this week at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. When we come back, three-handed final table action will return right here on the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT. James Larson here alongside Kenny James. You see Ben Brown leading the pack, and it's great to be back here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. This is our 26th HPT event. I still remember that first one back in 2007. That was back when the big bet, the max bet was just $5. So much has changed since then. Speaking of big bets, Rich is all in here with his King Jack.
Yeah, and you can see the change of fates play out here between Rich and Eric. Rich has doubled up Eric twice, and now it's Eric's turn to double Rich up. Rich has moved all in with the Kenna James, the King Jack.
The KJ, he likes it so much. That's your initials. Now, we talked about it before. The jump from third place to second, 64,000 up to 98,000. Eric makes the call. Now over to Mr. Ben Brown with the shades. Love his look. Very laid back.
Yeah, he's our chip leader. Mountains of chips. He's going to make the call as well. And these two players are going to try and take Rich out.
Yeah, they're unofficially teamed up for the hand anyway. Let's go to the flop. It's Jack, 4, deuce, couple of spades. Nice flop for Rich as he pairs his Jack. All players check. The third spade rolls out. You see Eric holding the king of spades. He's going to check, as does Ben. Rich is all in. River card comes the 5 of diamonds. So just like that, he's going to stay alive.
Kenna James doesn't let you down, boys.
Never lets you down. Isn't that always the best feeling, especially when two opponents try to gang up on you and you take that pot of almost $1.9 million?
Yeah, well, they're not ganging up in the sense, but they are because they have similar interests. Knocking you out ladders them up over 30,000, but not today, Rich says, as he drags home a beautiful pot and keeps him in this tournament.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to our dealer there. Her name is Jess. Always does a great job. And, you know, you talk about how long we've been coming out here. Jess was one of the first friends that the HPT got because she was just one of our first final table dealers, and great to see her throwing those faded spade cards around here at our nationally televised final table.
Yeah, so much goes into our shows. All the production staff, Jeremy Smith, our tournament director, the crew, everybody. It takes so many people to put this show together, and we're so thankful that we're able to call it.
And now it's Eric's turn here with the King Jack. He's going to raise all in and is quickly called by Rich,
who's got him dominated with the King Queen.
Now you say the King Jack always comes through. The Kenneth James.
I feel a little sketchy here. But it would be fair to Eric double up Rich twice since he returned the favor earlier. To the flop we go.
And the cards come out ace, 9 Trey. It's a rainbow.
Yeah, Rich still comfortably in the lead.
King, queen. And see the turn card.
Pot of over 3.7 million chips as the deuce of hearts hits the turn card.
River card is the 9 of diamonds.
And the river card's the 9 of diamonds. So just like that, Rich wins that hand.
You see the change of fortunes?
Right.
And really, there's tens of thousands of dollars on the line. And this is the great thing about poker. At the turn of the card, fortunes can change. You've seen Rich now double up Eric twice, and now Eric returns the favor, doubling up Rich twice. Wow, these players hanging on, playing for, as you say, James, the life-changing cash.
Rich Dixon, by the way, his 6th HPT cash. Total career winnings just over $570,000, and he's hoping to add about $159,131 to that total.
That'd be nice. He's liking it now. Stacking it up, and play continues.
And, you know, we've really been kind of stuck here at 3 for a while. You know, we thought we'd see heads up maybe a little quicker. We've had our opportunities, but the short stack just keeps hanging around.
Well, these guys have traveled quite a distance to get here. Nobody is going to go out easily or without a fight.
All right, action over to Ben Brown, who's just been really sitting back as a spectator on a lot of these hands.
Yeah. Well, he's built a big chip lead, and now I really like his pacing, letting the other players fight it out as he waits for heads-up play, it seems. But he hasn't gotten a lot of hands either to play.
Oh,
and you heard the man, Rich Dixon, going to go all in with his Queen 10. Action over to Eric.
He makes a quick call with pocket threes. Wow, you know, I mean, a pair, yeah, you like pairs. It's 16-1 to be dealt a pair, but the problem with crabs in this spot is you're guaranteed to be either against 2 overcards or a bigger pair. And you put the 2 together, you're a 2-1 dog. So I don't know if I like this call here. Let's see. To the flop we go.
And the flop is Queen, Jack, Deuce, couple of clubs, and just like that, Rich takes the lead.
Yeah, now he's drawn to just really thin here.
And in the turn card, another club. That's the 5 of clubs. So Eric does hold the 3 of clubs.
Club or a 3, or the other 2 players are going to jump up 30,000 to the river we go.
And the river card is the 6 of diamonds, so Eric is going out in 3rd place. A nice little payday for him, though, this week on the HPT, $64,538. And when we come back, it's going to be Rich taking on Ben for the title here at Golden Gates.
Welcome back to the HPT as we broadcast from the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor right here in Black Hawk, Colorado. And Kenna, we started with 763 entries, and now we are down to our final 2.
Yeah, we have the quiet assassin, Ben Brown. Love the way he's navigated this final table, James. He sat back, let Rich Dixon take everybody out, but he can't sit back anymore. It's time for heads-up play.
Looking at the chip counts, Ben Brown, he started the final table with the chip lead. He still has it. Over a 3-1 chip lead on Rich Dixon as we look down from our HPT blimp. And final table action continues heads up.
But you know how these one all in. You know, all of a sudden you're at 5, then you're at $1 million, your opponent's at 1.2. So it doesn't take much, but it's going to be a battle here. Rich Dixon and Ben Brown. Who will be our next HPT champion? We'll find out tonight. Ben's going to raise up. That's a nice hand to start heads up. Queen Jack going to raise to 400,000.
Yeah, and Ben is going to, Rich rather, is going to defend with the 6-3 of clubs. You know, this is such an interesting,
whoa,
look at this.
That's a lot of clubs out there.
Yeah, you said
Jeez.
it. Rich flops the flush. That's about 118-1, folks.
400,000 is a bet by Ben.
400,000 is the bet. Now, what do you want Rich to do here?
I like him to just call. You know, he's got to gain ground. He's really got to get some chips, but it looks like he's getting out raising chips.
Yeah, and Ben's going to quickly fold. So Rich doesn't really maximize his value there, but he could have been scared of a bigger club.
118 to 1 to flop a flush.
Yeah, he says, these players know the stats. It's not by accident they're here heads up.
All right, Ken, well, on the line here between first and second is a little over $61,000 and the bragging rights, because you get to say you are an HPT champion.
Yeah, I'm just excited to watch heads up play because we haven't seen Ben Brown involved in the action much because he's come in with such a dominating chip lead. It's finally fun to watch him play.
All right, we go to the flop here, 7-6 deuce. Ben's going to check over to Rich. Rich reaching for some chips here.
He's going to semi-bluff with his open-ended straight.
Bet is $600,000.
I like it. I like it. Putting it to the chip leader. Now will Ben defend his equity?
I really like Ben's demeanor at the final table. Hasn't said a lot. He's got the shades. You know what he's doing? He's just getting business done here.
That's right.
That's what he's doing.
That's a great point, James. He's really all business.
$1,500,000.
And look at this. Raises to $1.5 million.
Now he's leveraging his position. Not only his chip position, his table position.
Okay, well, Rich is going to make the call. Not what Ben wanted to see there.
No, he'd rather just take it. But Rich has got too much.
All right, the turn card is another deuce, this time the deuce of spades. And this is always the tough part. You come back and, well, yeah, that's what he's
fire again.
He's going to fire again.
And then it's going to be gut check time for Rich. Does he move all in here?
Right, because obviously the players can't see the whole cards like we can.
Are those stacks of 5 in the way?
And Rich just hanging around here with 8 high. And
yeah,
the
but
draw.
a little more than 8 high. He's got the draws, right? So I really like a shove. He's not getting the right price to just call to try and hit his straight or a pair. He's about a 2-to-1 dog. Oh, he doesn't pull the trigger. That might be the key pivotal hand right there.
Yeah, big hand of the night right there, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Brown, he outplayed his opponent.
Yeah, and he's also leveraging his image, right? So he hasn't played a lot of hands. He can really leverage that image in spots like that and put his opponent to a test.
And the question is will Rich pass the test, I guess?
Because he's certainly going to keep the pressure on here with King-Queen. Just look at you're right, James. He is all
Stoic.
business.
Yeah, he really is. Very, very comfortable at the final table, which is so important. Very laid back, everything calculated. And here he's going to go ahead and raise it up to $400,000 with his King-Queen. His opponent looks down at Queen-9.
Yeah, I expect Rich to defend here. He's not going to be in an enviable position as a 3-to-1 dog going to the flop.
And the flop comes out King, Queen, Trey, couple of diamonds. You see Rich pairs his queen, but Ben flops 2 pair.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. Flopping second pair heads up is a lot different than if you flop second pair and there's 4 people in the hand. This is just too much to get away, so I expect a call here at least, and he does.
Yeah, Ben bets $300,000. Rich makes the call, and we go to the turn card, and it's the 5 of hearts.
Yeah, now it would be standard for Rich to check again. Now we have to look at Ben's sizing. I liked his bet sizing on the flop. He made a weak bet to draw his opponent in. Now he's got to consider, what does my opponent have? Is he on a draw, like diamonds, or a straight draw? If he thinks his opponent's on a draw, he's going to bet heavier, and he does. He makes a pot-size bet, full pot.
Now, could Rich be thinking maybe he's just trying to represent the king?
Yeah, that's absolutely, and my opponent could be on a draw, but the problem is this is where chip advantage is so crucial, because now if he calls...
The problem is it's $1.5 million.
Yeah, it's for so much of his stack.
And he's going to fold, so Ben's going to win the pot. And Rich is going to show the queen, saying, maybe you got away with one, maybe you didn't, but either way, I'm going to live to fight another hand because I want to be that next HPT champion. We'll be back after these words. Welcome back to the HPT here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. Heads up action resumes First place, $159,000. 131, not too shabby, Kenna.
No.
For second, almost $99,000.
But the difference, $60,000 difference these players playing for, as Ben executing, extending his chip lead now to 4-1. Big uphill battle for Rich Dixon as he looks down at 5-4 and knuckles it. He's got a big mountain to climb, James. To the flop we go.
And the flop comes out Jack 8 Trey. So Rich will be first. He's going to check over to Ben. Both players now checking. Let's go to the turn card. And that turn card is the 7 of hearts.
Now this gives Rich a gut shot with a 6 to the straight, so he's going to semi-bluff. I like it. Is Ben going to let this go, or is he going to wrestle it away, James?
Well, Ben's got the gut shot, too. He's looking for a 9.
And he's got the best hand with 10 high. Look, this guy's not going away.
You're right. Here he comes again. He's going to make that call of 620,000 chips.
Yeah, this guy doesn't get all those chips by just folding out his equity.
So river card, the deuce of hearts. So as you look at it, one player holding a 5 high in their hand, the other with a 10 high.
Well, Rich, though, his only way to win is to bet. He's got to dig deep now, but he doesn't. He knuckles it. It's his only way to win the hand. You got to fire that second bullet sometimes, this third bullet. You got to dig deep.
No, Ben's probably thinking the same thing. If I want to take this pot down, I've got to bet he's going to go all in. And Rich quickly puts his cards in the muck. And Ben is going to win the hand.
He's going to extend his chip lead as he packs it, stacks it. He's looking to mop up and dust off.
We started with 763 entries, a prize pool of over $740,000, and now we are down to our final 2. Rich wakes up with ace Trey.
Yeah, he's on fumes now. I expect him to move all in. He does. Let's see. Let's peek down. Does Ben have anything to call him with?
Oh, he sure does, ladies and gentlemen. He's asking for a count, and you know those are getting in the middle. And Rich is going to see the bad news here. He's behind. You see the percentages, and it all comes down, Kenneth, to the next 5 cards.
Well, I like Ben, man. He's just been quiet the whole table. I'm going to call him the quiet assassin.
Well, he's waking up right now because he realizes he is so close from taking down this HPT title here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. Let's go to the flop, and it comes out Queen 10-4, 2 spades.
A dagger in the heart of Rich. You can see he's only got a 6% chance to stay in this tournament. To the turn we go.
And the turn card is the ace of clubs. Now just chop outs for Rich. 1 card to go, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes down to this.
Will the quiet assassin knock out the final opponent to take home this championship? Let's take a look. To the river we go.
Let's see the river card.
And the river card is the 9 of spades. And ladies and gentlemen, it is over. We have a brand new HPT champion, the 28-year-old from Grand Junction, Colorado, Mr. Ben Brown.
Congratulations to 28-year-old Ben Brown. He came in with the best of it, got it in with the best of it at the end, and now he's taking home the best of it with over $150,000.
But let's not forget about our second place finisher, and I'm talking about Rich Dixon. He played a great game all week long, and for his efforts, he's going home with over $98,000, and he's joined with our tournament director, Jeremy Smith.
Yeah, you play great. You're going to walk away with just over $98,000 in cash. Now, you told me yesterday that you donate 100% of your winnings to charity. Tell me about that.
Correct. So I run a company called Abilicare up in Wyoming, and we provide services to people with developmental and cognitive disabilities. And about 4 years ago, I started concentrating on tournament poker and using tournament poker basically to fund the company. We're funded through Medicaid, and it's been cuts every year for 9 years, and so it was work several jobs, which I also do, or do well at tournament poker and keep the doors open and keep people with services.
Stunning. Rich Dixon, fantastic work you do, especially since poker is a game of the mind itself. Thank you. Congratulations on your second place finish.
All right, now it's time to talk with our champion, the 28-year-old Ben Brown going home with over $159,000 in cash. He's at the table right now with Jeremy.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with our new HPT champion, Ben Brown. Ben, tell me about that final table.
Honestly, I just ran really well, and yeah, that's it. I'm kind of speechless right now.
Now you're going to walk away with just over $159,000 in cash. Any plans for the money?
I'll probably just bankroll it. I'm moving to Vegas in a couple months, so it's perfect. Yeah.
Good. Well, good luck with that and all your other poker adventures. Our new HPT champion, Ben Brown. Back to you guys. Nice job, Ben.
Congratulations, Ben Brown, 28 years old, running well, playing well, and now an HPT champion.
Well, that's going to do it for us this week. It's been a great time here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. And now our truck heads east, back to the heartland of America. And if you want to join us on one of our next stops, all you have to do is log on to hptpoker.com. And who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the life-changing cash. For our tournament director, Jeremy Smith, he's Kenneth James, I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time right here on the HPT.